Hey, James here, and I just wanted to make a quick kind of unscripted live. Yesterday I was speaking to a large company here in Denver. In fact, a really large company, thousands and thousands of employees, but I wasn't talking to thousands and thousands. I was talking to a special group within, and it wasn't the C-suite. It wasn't even a group of leaders and managers per se. It was a group of basically what I would call up-and-comers, like people who are driven and they want to grow in their career, and maybe they want to grow more than the opportunities that are in front of them with their role. So think of it a little bit like this. In a company, of course, there's going to be a lot of employees who they just want to come in, do their job, do a good job, and then go home, right? And that's fine. As long as that's not a problem, it's not a problem. But there's also employees that they are hungrier. They want more than just their role. Like they're ambitious. They have a mind for the future. And these are the type of people that you want to keep in your organization. These are also the kind of people that you lose when they don't feel like there is a seat at the next seat up for them. And so what this company did is brilliant, and I know maybe some of you are also doing something else, but basically a few years ago, they started I say an up-and-comers club, though they don't call it that. But basically, it's a group that would come together and get extra training. And some of these are leaders and managers, and others are just new to the company or not a manager yet, but they want to be at some point. And so basically, and I don't know how often they meet. I should have asked them that. But I was there yesterday doing a talk for them called The Art of Influence, where I was teaching them, regardless of the title that you have, how do you grow in your influence in the company. But they had about 100 people register for being on site, and then another, I think, 150 people register for virtually, right? So, I mean, again, this is a large company, but think about this for a moment. That's 250 people that wanted to take extra time out of their work to come and better themselves, right? And some of you are in HR, some of you are trainers, and you know the challenge of what you offer some training, like even some great training, and you don't get good show up rates to this stuff. So think about this, 250 people. Now, why would so many people be this bought in? Well, first of all, because it's their choice to come, right? It's their choice being there. Like nobody's forcing them to be there. And these are the people that are going to be the future leaders in the company. Now, the group first started and it was all young people, but as the group has grown, then, older and older people have also been part of it. So, and they've been going for a number of years now. So, when you hear 250, that's not where it started, right? It started with a small group. So here's the thing about this. If you don't have something like this, it's definitely something for you to consider, because it's an opportunity for you to train those, what we say, entrepreneurs, right? Entrepreneurial people, but they're within your company. And it gives you a chance to get them learning more and in a sense kind of meet that hunger that they have to grow. But there's a lot of spin-off good reasons for this as well, in that as they come, they start to get to know one another. So think about that. There becomes this synergy between people in the company who are like-minded, like they want to go somewhere. In fact, yesterday, one of the challenges I gave this group, because we were talking about influence, and all influence starts, relationally. And so I challenged them to learn 100 names in the company, like 100 names. And that actually is not a challenge because I know CEOs who know 250 names of people in their companies. So 100 names, not a problem. And of course, the reason I said that is because influence all starts with a name. Because once you have a name, then you can have small talk. Small talk uncovers affinity points, and affinity points create connection. And connection is where we leverage more influence. So anyways, not going to get into the talk and what I did yesterday, but the other benefit of having a group like this and creating something like this is it's sort of a tribe within the company. And like I said, like-minded people. But people build these relationships, and then they look forward to things like this, trainings and whatever it is. So if you're looking to start something like this, let me give you some ideas. And by the way, some of you already have this. And if you do, hey, leave your idea in the comment, or not your idea, leave what you do in the comments, because when you do that, other people are going to be able to read that, and it's going to, help them know where to start. But it can start as simple as a book club. Now, some of you probably already do this, but the idea is that there is a book a month, or however, a book a quarter. Book a quarter might be too long, but maybe a book a month, or a book every 6 weeks. And then people just come together and discuss it, or someone does a presentation on it, or whatever it might be. It can start as simple as that. Of course, at some point, it's helpful if you've got some buy-in from senior leadership. Like in this talk yesterday, I mean, I don't think there was any senior leadership there, which wasn't a problem at all. It's not a problem. But even for that group to start, they needed some buy-in from senior leadership, because they've built it up now where they have a budget. I mean, they paid me to come in, right? So they had a budget. But when you're first starting out, you're probably not going to have that. But you at least need that buy-in from the CEO or CFO or whoever, so that you can at least get the communication out. Hey, if anybody wants to be part of this new initiative, and whatever name you want to call it, Up and Comers Club is probably a bad name, so I wouldn't use that. I was just, doing this live, and so I needed a title for this video. But whatever you want to call it, or don't call it anything, and get everyone else to come up with the name. That's another idea. And then just grow it slowly, and let this be something that over time it builds and builds and builds, right? Because once you get past the book club, you can move on to having people come and speak. And you don't need people to come in from the outside. You don't need to pay me to come in from the outside. You can have people from within the company come and share their story, right? And by the way, this is how you get the CEO to buy in. You ask them to be your first speaker, right? Get the CEO to come in, just tell them what the theme is. It might be, hey, can you come and tell us, if you were to go back to your 25-year-old self, what leadership lessons would you give yourself now? And could you just come in and talk about that? Or you're asking the CEO to come in and talk about the importance of leadership in the company, right? And so most CEOs are going to say yes to that, and that's also going to help open their eyes to see, hey, this is a great group, and I want to support this. But you can bring in different people from the company, and then look for local people that you can ask to come in. Eventually you get the CEO on board, you start to get a budget for this. And so maybe it's only $500 a meeting. Okay, fantastic. Start there and just grow it from there. So again, the company I was at yesterday, this is a massive organization. Like I said, they had 250 people that were signed up for this event. And then after the event, they had a happy hour and, fed their employees and had an open bar. And, so that's not where you're going to start. You're probably going to start with a book, and that's okay too. So anyways, I just wanted to come and share that. But basically, you want to find a path for people to grow. And speaking of growth, if you have not signed up for this yet, or if you have one of those employees, you have one of those managers that's hungry and that really wants to grow, and you don't want to lose them, right? Then definitely consider getting them enrolled in the next cohort of the 9 Minutes on Monday Leadership Program. It kicks off August 17th. I mean, that's literally just a couple of weeks away, and we still have a couple of spaces left. So if you've got somebody, definitely get them enrolled in this. And you can find a link to the cohort, the registration page, either below this video if you're watching this on YouTube, or in LinkedIn. Just go to the link that's in my bio and you can find it there. All right. So remember, regardless of what you call it, to create something like this is an asset to your organization, and it gets people together, it gets them growing, because when you find a path for people's growth, that's going to increase the chances that they're going to want to stay for the long haul with your organization. All right. Have a fantastic week.